Hey, what's the word, players? Welcome back to our annual Halloween series of 3 non-horror games that scared me. And as you can see, I'm going as Chai from Hi-Fi Rush. If you have not checked out the previous videos in this series, definitely check them out. Otherwise, let's get into our first pick. The Mortal Kombat series is no stranger when it comes to horror elements, from including guest characters such as Freddy Krueger and Jason Voorhees to, well, have you seen the Switch version of Mortal Kombat 1? That's pretty scary if you ask me. But let's go back to the 2D era when Midway still made Mortal Kombat. Now, if you were around in the 90s, you know how big and controversial Mortal Kombat was, so we're gonna skip all that and go straight into the story of when I was about 4 or 5 years old, when a family friend of ours brought over a copy of Mortal Kombat on the Sega Saturn. Now, since it was the Saturn, I'm guessing that this specific version was Mortal Kombat Trilogy, and I say that because there was one fatality that absolutely traumatized me as a kid, and it was the stage fatality at that. If you're new to Mortal Kombat and you don't know what a fatality is, it's a way to finish off your opponent in gruesome and painful ways, either by a character's own hands or by using the stage to their advantage. Now, the stage fatality that I was alluding to earlier is from The Pit. First featured in Mortal Kombat 1. Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat 1992. Man, I'm so sick of these naming conventions. The Pit has been a staple for the franchise for years, with variations. Mortal Kombat 2 had Pit 2, and Mortal Kombat 3 had, well, you guessed it, Pit 3. But Pit 1 is the one that's featured the most throughout the series, and this is the one that traumatized me. So how it works is that it starts off with both combatants on a bridge. Now, whoever wins and chooses to go for the stage fatality, what they do is they knock the opponent off the bridge, leading them to their death down below into the pit, which is filled with bloody spikes, and you see the fallen remains of previous combatants. Not only did this stage give me a fear of crossing bridges, but also gave me nightmares of being impaled by spikes. So, thanks, MK. Oh yeah, this is happening. Sonic's first truly 3D mainline game. In Sonic Adventure, not only do you play as Sonic, but you can also unlock other characters and play the story through their perspective. One of those characters being Big the Cat. Big the Chat. But the campaign that we're going to focus on is Amy's story. Amy's story is pretty short and simple. A Flicky bumps into Amy. One of Dr. Eggman's robots is chasing after the bird, so Amy decides to protect the bird and reunite the Flicky to their family. The thing about Sonic Adventure is that every character has a different playstyle. So Amy, they have the interesting thing of her being chased by Zero the robot, who pops up pretty frequently at certain points of the stages. Honestly, being chased at all in a video game already freaks me out. You can defend yourself by hitting the robot, knocking him down temporarily. The thing is, you can only hit him a certain amount of times before he gets mad and isn't affected by your attacks anymore. So all you can do is just run away from him. Is it far-fetched to say that this is a baby's first Resident Evil? Because I was obviously too young to play Resident Evil, but this gives me those same kind of feelings of you have to choose between fight or flight. With the way that Zero pops in at certain parts of the stages or will literally smash his way through environments to find you, it's safe to say that Zero was my version of Mr. X from Resident Evil 2.
X gon' give it to you.
When the strangest thing I saw, a big moon was before me, and its face was my paw.
Last game on the list here is Oddworld Abe's Odyssey. Shoutouts for this game for making me think that Odyssey was always spelled with 2 D's, when that's actually just this game and Odyssey is not spelled like that. Oddworld is such an interesting series because there really is not anything like it. In Oddworld Abe's Odyssey, you play as, well, Abe, a Maduncan slave set to free his people from this meat packaging plant because they are going to be the next product. What's interesting about Oddworld is that everything is very bleak and grim and dark, and literally everything is out to kill you. And I mean everything is out to kill you. And yet it's also funny and has a really good balance between being really dark and really funny. There's literally a fart button. But Oddworld Abe's Odyssey is honestly ahead of its time when it comes to environmental storytelling, where you really get a sense of what's going on in the factory and what goes on outside of the factory. Speaking of outside the factory, the thing that made me stop playing the game super quickly was having to deal with the scraps. I hate these things. First of all, the ugly. Second of all, what kind of workouts do they have where they got buff chests like that? But for real, these things are terrifying because when they see you, they are locked in on you and they will not stop. And when they do get you, the last thing you see before the game fades to black and then you restart is you see them eating your dead body. Like, dude, what the heck? That's so gruesome. This is T for Team, by the way. And what really sucks is that in this game, Abe has the ability to chant and possess enemies to make them do whatever. But for some reason, it does not work on scraps. All they do is they just yell, and their yelling sounds so blood-curdling. Now, you definitely get the sense that these are raw beasts not meant to be tamed. On an unrelated note, this is Elam, and not only is Elam spelled backwards, mule, but Elam is best boy.
Hello. Follow me.
And those were 3 more non-horror games that scared me. What did you think? Was there anything on this list that also scared you? Or comment down below and let me know what non-horror games scared you. If you're looking for a non-denominational church, down in the description will be a link to our church locator. If you're interested in studying the Bible or you just want to talk, my Discord is also down below. Once again, thank you so much for watching, guys. I'm going to change out of this because it is getting really hot with all these lights on me. So until next time, peace.